If you believe you can just switch from one task to another without losing focus, your work is trivial and requires little focus to do. Or it's not trivial, but you're just fucking around and you're not doing what you're truly capable of. There are so many resources on how to organize.
Layer 1, which is run. Layer 2, which is Hermione.
Projects, areas, resources, and archives. We're busier than ever, but not more productive. So what gives? It may seem strange, but early CPUs were only designed to do one task at a time, and some people grew frustrated with this experience because the computer seemed unresponsive, so multitasking came along. Ironically, people were happy with multitasking because it improved the perceived responsiveness, while actually the computer performed worse on every single task. And while the computer's memory is perfect, human memory is not. Relying on memory and context switching is for losers, while deep, focused work is the true unlock. Being a full-time dev, a YouTuber, and a dad, I used to live in the calendar. I used to plan out even a few months ahead, but recently I deleted it all. Putting things onto the calendar is just scheduling distractions for my future self. A plan I made 2 months ago does not take into account information available today. Why should I follow it?
Who are you?
Alright, Paul Graham. Pleased to meet you.
Paul Graham wrote this excellent article called Maker Schedule, Manager Schedule. And if you look at them side by side, it's very clear who the maker is and who is the manager. This article inspired me to make this drastic change in the way I work, so let me tell you how it went. Since I'm now on paternity leave from work, I no longer start my day with a stand-up. Instead, I sit down and work. Funny thing is, in most companies, the morning stand-up is part of the daily routine. Just in case you retained some context of where you left off yesterday, here's 5 more unrelated things you need to know about before you start your work to remove any hope of focus. Why do we keep doing this? In the past month, I've been working on the new version of my project OneMenu. And in this time, I made more progress than ever because I removed all distractions from my work routine. I organize my work in sprints. Each sprint is defined by scope of work, not by time. The sprint is not over until the work in the scope is done. I don't interrupt or park my unfinished business on the side to minimize distractions and context switching. This might sound unhinged to you, but it's actually insanely productive, because when you truly allow yourself to focus only on one thing at a time, things start getting done rapidly. Usually, most issues in the code can be resolved in a few hours of focused work, but most of the time, it's much less. Context is key for being productive, and the moment you decide to work on something later instead of now, you're going to have to recreate this context from scratch next time. And it's never going to be as clear as it is now. If you need a sophisticated issue tracking system, it means you actually don't have this context in mind. It means that most of the time, instead of the product and the problem at hand, you're thinking about something else. It means that you're not deep enough in your work. The goal of work is not to complete tickets and check boxes. The goal of work is to come up with elegant solutions and creative ideas, to come up with unique insights that no one else has. And you simply cannot get there if the focus of your work is to achieve a certain development velocity, or clear the backlog, or fill out your timesheet.